came from their original place, why they were able to intermix with it.
What up, family? Y'all already know what it is. It's your brother Humble Mystic. And today I'm bringing you some BIGO panels. We over here at the Ring of Fire. You know what it is. And these brothers and sisters over here getting it in. Before we get it into the panel, I want to give a shout out to some of my people. Before I even give that shout out while I'm getting this, please, family, go subscribe to the Ring of Fire, like, share. Go over on BIGO, follow the Ring of Fire, follow your brother Humble Mystic, and follow your brother Ashe. But I want to give a couple shouts out before we get in here. Go follow your brother Ashe on the Rhetoric Frontier. You already know, good brother, good brother. You can also find him over there on BIGO, kicking, chilling, and spitting that information. Go follow the brother ep1 Titans Debate League. Let's get it. Let's get this up here. Go follow the brother ep1 Titans Debate League. Hey, we actually have a tournament coming up, tournament 1.1. Go check that out. I'm also in the tournament, brother Ashe in the tournament. We got brother Pitbull in the tournament. We got some heavy hitters in this tournament. Go check this tournament out over there at Titans Debate League. Go live, go check it out. Go subscribe if you never heard of it. My man Quantum over there, he break down some good information. We got brothers like brother Omar over there who break down, some information. Brother ep1 himself break down good information. And so go over there on Titans Debate League, check that out. And right now, come check me out every Sunday. You can catch me over here on the Ring of Fire. We do the claims of shame. And man, listen, I put people on the hot seat. Y'all know how Brother Humble Mystic do. But right now, what I'm going to do is we're going to get into it with these, check out what these brothers saying over here on this panel. And I'm going to, go ahead and let it be what it be. Let's get into it.
But, or even, doing good for the time that you do live to have a good life in the afterlife. So, yeah. So like I said, I think it's a great idea to, tap into, that those plant cultures to actually see, what actually move people in that direction. Because let's say that you have a great culture and then, a tribe next to you or, regions, next to you don't have that, don't have like the foods and, to feed themselves. Hold on. I got family here. I'll come back. It'd just be easier for them to, put their culture on other people. Well, you take this knowledge and, give praise to this person.
What point was he making?
Where y'all? What happened?
I think we all need a 15-minute intermission or something.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we've been rocking and rolling over here. Non-stop. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Y'all have a good one. Today is Woman Wednesday. Don't forget.
Words are very powerful. Sometimes you got to preserve that energy a little bit, you know.
We're all on a lunch break. I mean, not a lunch break, a dinner break. I just said, I'm full.
Okay. Well, while y'all sitting there, don't forget to double tap the screen, share the live, give exclusive gifts. You can also reload, recharge, and give some things if you'd like. If you want to join the family, you like what the Ring of Fire is all about. You're looking for a home, a place to be, debating, presentation, get some information. This is the place where you want to be.
Information, real donation. I like that.
Yeah, so make sure y'all drop those badges where you got them from. I think I heard him say drop them zeros and get with some heroes, because we're some heroes over here on the Ring of Fire. Drop your badges. Come join the Ring of Fire. Let's take this to another level. Come on, guys. I know y'all need a place to call home. A place that is familiar. A place that's right for you. Somewhere where you can get fed morning, noon, and night. And not no oodles and noodles and hot dogs either. I'm talking about steak and lobster. You're going to get full over here. Dip it in a little salt. Okay, we like to eat. A lot of country people, foreigners, ethnic, heritage, rich culture in this room right now. I want y'all to know y'all some of the most smartest people on BIGO sit right here at the BIGO Fire. No, but I'm dead ass, you know. One thing I want to say is I want to say this to all the Americans. The time is coming. Our country has stood tall and brave for a long time. They've tried to attack us from all ends and both sides. Nevertheless, we withered the storm and we set our flag down. And we became the home of the free and the brave. Don't forget where you came from, Americans. Don't forget who you are. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York highways. This land was made for you and me. Let's put back on our boots. Lace them up. This is truly who I am. And I'm back. Let's lace up our boots. And let's fight this fight of oppression, racism, tyranny. Let's be the voice for all of the world. Everybody depends on us, America. They're depending on us, Black America. It is our time. They need us. They need our strong voices. They need our tenacity, our perseverance, and our resilience. We refuse to lie down like a dog and give up.
Everyone hates America. The whole world hates America. Y'all bomb, invade everywhere. Everywhere y'all go, shit fucks up. Disease, war, poverty. America is built upon genocide. Literally white colonizers genociding the fuck out of that land, taking Africans from their land, bringing them there,
Stop
labor.
bragging on the
That
you
land
can
is
stop that.
from
You can stop
bullshit.
that propaganda. That shit is old. We know who did it, Muslims. We know who was a part of the Atlantic trade.
Muslims? Oh my God.
You know
Muslims were taken in the motherfucking slave trade. There were Africans that were Muslim. You know,
here, listen. We're gonna stop the fight. We're gonna stop the war. Black Americans, it is our time. I don't think y'all know the severity of what could happen to this country. My niece is scared of to death. She's serving in the army right now, and she could be gone. She's afraid of losing her life to fight for this fucking country. Poor baby, and she can't leave. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to die.
that's what I'm saying. America is killing your children. They're putting them in this white man army and sending them to the Middle East or Africa and killing brown and black children. For what? For what? For oil, for resources, and many things that are too long.
Because somebody wants to take over and tell us that we have to worship Allah. We have to worship and be a Muslim. Somebody's telling us we have to do something. You laughing and think it's funny.
Do you really believe that? Come on, man. Do you really believe that? That's the media telling you that. Muslims have no interest of doing that. The road is changed.
He's being Abraham, you're being deceptive now. Because that is true. I just watched a video the guy showed the other day saying that they
you watched a video. That's all media. The media lies about this. Muslim countries have no interest of doing
let me finish it though.
They can't even deal with their own lands. We have so much trouble in our own lands, so much war, invasions, bombs being dropped. Got no time to even think about that. And if there's anyone in the world that wants to take over, it's the Jew. The Zionist is bombing Egypt, bombing Palestine, bombing Syria, bombing Iran, bombing Lebanon. The Jew is trying to make his greater Israel. And who is his best friend? America.
Why don't y'all stop fighting? Why
don't even go there.
Why don't you be a part of to help?
Maybe you don't think
choosing a side. Stop the war and the fighting because it's affecting people all across the world to religious goddamn fights and wars. And our children have to go thinking that they are serving.
There is no religious war going on in the 21st century. These are all political gold wars. These are all resource stealing wars. That's how you make money on war. You take the tax from the people. They buy weapons, tanks, artillery, air defense, fighter jets, name it, choppers. Then they invade the country. Then with the money that they spend on the military, they will take the resources of the country, and that's how you make money with war.
And the Muslims
They're Americans.
Causing wars. Yeah, keep causing wars. The Jews and the Muslims. Jews and Muslims. Over which fucking way it should be served. And there's no
in the world.
Watch your mouth
And the one that's
on
America, who's another
That's what
power
y'all
when it
gonna do.
comes to
Keep
wealth
shaming
economy,
and
is
condemning
Israel.
America.
And then you got your British,
We don't do that
the
to
Holland,
Israel.
Germany,
We don't
Spain,
do that to
France,
Palestine or
Norway. These
Persia.
are all countries
We don't
supporting
go
each other.
ragging.
Very
Hold on,
strong.
son of Abraham. Listen, what we don't do is as
It's Middle
Americans,
Eastern and
we
African
don't go
countries
on
that are
to
oppressed
panels with
the most
Persians
in the
and
world.
say, fucking Persia is the worst country ever. That's the Persia. Like, we don't do that. But every fucking nation wants to come and say something negative about America. When we fought for the freedom of every goddamn human being in this damn world. And we
No,
did the
you didn't. You
shitting of
took
the stick
people's
for it.
freedom away. Wasn't
We
it
didn't
about
take
America
nothing away. That's the
when
lie.
slavery
That's
was
the
a
bullshit
million
lie.
Africans? Which motherfucking freedom are you talking about?
That perpetuated propaganda, that's a lie. These white
It's not a
people,
propaganda. That's historical, documented facts.
this is historical documented facts. White and blacks got here and built this motherfucking country. And some Russian, Jew, or Muslim wants to perpetuate propaganda that it's the white against the blacks. We're the only ones who believe in peace and unity and justice for all. The only ones. That's why this country is a melting pot, the home of the free and the land of the brave. Y'all gonna stop fucking with the hunkies and the niggas. Leave us alone. We are tired
Hey,
of
who's gonna tell her to invite black people outside of America?
your wars.
Who's gonna tell her that? Because I think she thinks America is the whole world.
No, America's America. It's what we stand for. It's the people. It's not the land. It's the damn people. We stand for freedom, equality, liberty, and justice for all, not just Americans.
And there's
for all.
hundreds of other countries that stand with the same mindset. That
No,
have the
they
same
don't.
ruling.
No, they
So
don't.
what now?
No, they don't. No, they don't.
America
No, they
is
don't.
invading every single country, from Vietnam to Japan to Iran to the nations in South America, in and out, in and out, in and out. They're the only country that said you can't use nuclear bomb, but they're the only ones that use the atomic bomb in Japan. People are still being born with rare diseases over there because of what America done.
So you're proving that you hate Americans.
No, I don't hate Americans. I love Americans. I love Americans that stand upon truth and justice and fairness and equality.
And then
like you said, I don't like the American
how
government.
can you, Abraham?
I don't like that regime of invading innocent countries.
So that means that you can't love America. All right. I see you just
their ways.
Prove me
and
right,
messing
right?
a lot
You're
of
proving
stuff up
my
with them.
point.
Putting them back.
You're proving my point. You cannot speak and say that America is this, and that, and still have love for that country. It's the epitome of your race, of Muhammad, of the Jews. It's the epitome of every country. They call it the whore of Babylon.
Now, I think America is a very beautiful country. Beautiful land with beautiful people. I made it very clear that I have a thing with the regime, the government itself, and not just America. I have an issue with many governments, even my own country. Guess you didn't know that.
We must stop asking for our children to go fight a war.
So let me ask you something, Chosen. You said that we are the government, but anybody living in America knows that the government does not represent the people. People are working and struggling in this country, and the government doesn't care. The government is out to fight endless wars that they know they're not going to win. So how is it that we are the government when the government is not for the people? I don't understand that. You especially as a black, wait, let me just finish. You especially as a black person. How many times a year?
I'm not a black person.
Okay, well, all right, fine. Well, I'm going to say as a black person in America, How many times do we see young Black men killed wrongfully by the police and justified? How many times do we see women being abused?
Never seen it.
And there's a justification by the government. How can you say that we, the people, represent the government when the government doesn't give a crap about the people in this country, has been plotting against the Black communities since the early 1900s, killed civil rights leaders, have caused us to be divided and separated, have us grouped according to income, not according to who we are as people. Like, come on, like, how do you come up with that conclusion? I've been just listening. I'm just trying to understand.
If the government is the people, then you don't give a crap about the people then, is what you're telling me. You don't care about your neighbors. You don't want to stop the luxury and comfort of your
government.
You don't want to stop.
The government don't care. It's not
the government is what I'm saying.
No, we are not. We're not. We're not.
Standing in front of your door with a guard and a gun. You can walk out this bitch and form a goddamn neighborhood block club in your community. You are the government. We make up the land. We do. We are the people. We the people. So all these people that you see in Congress and on the board, and that is those who make the laws, but who govern you. We govern ourselves. And we have to start back governing ourselves physically now. Being the activists that we once were. The fight never ends, and we stop fighting.
So we need to ask you
for our rights to protect the people and each other. And now we're getting up to some board members and cabinet members to do it for us.
Let me ask you this. How long have Black people in this country been marching and protesting, and very little has come from it? Like, I mean, you're saying, oh, we can be the government and we can come against these who are doing wrong in the government. That makes no sense, because look how many times people are out there protesting, marching, and nothing comes from it. We're still standing in the same position. The only difference is, instead of us being slaves on a plantation, we're slaves in the workforce.
Are you forgetting about the civil rights movement? After Jim Crow, after slavery, there was the civil rights movement.
What came from it? We still fight for civil rights.
I can't hear you.
We're still fighting for
the civil rights movement.
So that's not
This is a list of countries that the United States of America, Canada, Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico,
you just pop up, start talking.
Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, Grenada, Colombia, China, Philippines, North Korea, Cambodia, Laos.
What are you doing?
Japan,
What are you reading? I don't even know what you're reading right now.
Yemen, France, Italy, Germany, Austria, Luxembourg, Belgium, Serbia, Montenegro, Morocco, Algeria, Somalia, Liberia, Sudan, Kuwait, Marshall Islands, Federal States of Micronesia, and Palau. These are the countries that America invaded by will, by force. And you want to call this the country of justice?
Hey, shut your mouth about
you can't do it. America is
shut
the
your mouth about America. The only reason you're able to be on this phone now is because of the people in America that fought for y'all freedom. And you gonna stop sleeping and shitting on our name. Okay? The only reason we're able all right now to be on this goddamn social media app is because somebody, which is America's fought for our freedom. If you don't understand, the invasion means going somewhere and stopping them from stealing us once again. You're not looking at these.
That's what they tell you to make you think that. They make about it.
You and
no danger, no threat to you, ain't minding that whole business that you're doing, and then invading, robbing, controlling, putting military bases, so they're even more
telling people in America how we need to come together. And where we're at right now. You don't need to stop that. You're part of the problem. Don't Don't you see how you Muslims think?
No, we have no issue. There's Muslims that live in America. There's Muslims in the American military. Muslims in the American government.
Michigan.
That's not the issue. There's no issue with Americans. There's no issue with the landmass. There's no issue with the American.
You don't live in America.
It's an issue with the government.
Shut me up.
You're so deluded and brainwashed. There's no saving for you. Thank you.
There's no saving for you. One thing about Americans is we shall. We shall. You will never be able to keep the spirit of the children of Israel. You know why? Because we're not meant to stay down and be oppressed. We never have. We never will.
So are we talking about how the Muslims are attacking us or something?
No, that America needs to come together and unite. Because if we don't, we are allowing other nations to come in and invade our country once again and oppress us. Now we're being religiously oppressed. Our children are over there scared to death that they're fighting a war that they don't want to fight for fucking religion. They're afraid that they're going to die.
Really sad, bro. This is really sad. Coming from you as an African American woman whose ancestors were tortured in the workplace, their tradition, language, and culture and religion being stolen from them, being put into 400 or 500 years of free forced labor, and then do an injustice to other nations. Really sick. So you either high on drugs, you either pissed off your head on the liquor, or you're
It's black people. That's just what it is. That's how it was coded. If he's not in America, he really can't speak.
First of all, assalamu alaikum to all the brothers and sisters on the panel. May I respect everybody here. Let's bring us all together.
Do what?
Yeah, I just wanted to say my respect to everybody here and thank you very much to the host for bringing us all together. And my respect to all the brothers and sisters, all the Muslims and Musliminas on the panel. Yeah.
But ain't Muslims in trouble right now for marrying damn 8-year-old girls and shit? Like, what the fuck? I'm talking about a Muslim fuck. Y'all pedophiles.
Here comes the low IQ, broke energy shit.
You want to, bro. It's all in the tabloids. It's all across the
Not single woman, low IQ. All about me energy. Study some shit. Read a book or something. You call yourself something. Let that brother talk. Read it the name and respect to me. Talk about are you a pedo, man? Why are you guys thinking about this 24/7, bro? Dog, man. All y'all screaming, being evil, being racist, talking about Muslims. Like, y'all sick.
You're the one. Muslims is sick. That's what we talking about.
Nobody like
pregnancy.
that brother.
Wait. How old was Mary though?
To the panels.
Yeah, Mary was 12. Mary was 12 years old. Joseph was like 80.
You don't know that. You don't know that. It's no.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You see the double standard? This is why Christianity is a religion that is Christians leave their religion by.
I also want to. They were both Abrahamic religions. They all came from the same father.
The popes are touching little boys right now as we are speaking. At least Muslims, we all women marry.
Both Christianity.
So we very healthy and we very blessed. Stop being jealous. Stop being racist.
See,
Stop being
I try to
bring some information to
in
them.
unity and bring our people together in America and to stop the divide and the religious war. Abraham wants to perpetuate it with his negative connotations and his jinn spirit. This is the problem. We need to stop the religious wars. We need to stop the division because soon they're going to try to attack our country. Even if they don't attack our country, we are over in another place fighting for freedom for the whole world. And right now I'm affected because
Hey, Fire, let that brother talk, man. You got some information and some knowledge, man.
Okay, as soon as I land my plane, he can go ahead. Sir, you can go right ahead. My concern is that our youth are over there thinking that it's a flex to join the Army and the Marines and the service. I have some family member that's sending me pictures every hour on the hour reports. She's afraid. That she's afraid.
What about the little girl? She's 5 years old. Can't go over a house and the bomb. What about that little girl in Sudan?
Listen,
in an African tribe village?
This is what we're talking
coming to her with arms that come from America. What about that girl?
Okay, you
what
see
about
how
the little boy in Afghanistan when bombs are dropping on his house?
you see
what about that? Because you're trying to compare people that go to a
you want down to America. He wants down to America.
Nobody asking them to come there. So why are you going there?
We need to stop
First
the
of all,
religious
why are you
war,
going there?
Abraham.
Why are you bombing and killing children?
No,
Are you proud of killing children?
That's a
Joseph?
lie.
Bet you don't have no kids, man, because
That's a lie, son of Abraham. That's the whole point of saying this. If you stop claiming you're Muslim and the Jews stop claiming they're Jews and that they own the fucking land, we won't have this religious war. Now, will we?
there is no religious war going on.
Abraham's a liar. He continue to be a liar.
I'm not even gonna explain it. But you don't
If
just
you
have
don't
to
believe
do your own
that,
research
you believe
already.
in Allah. Go ahead,
That
sir.
brother
You want to
raised
say
his hand.
something?
The brother real
You're
you let him speak.
bringing in bad energy.
And then Rose raised the hand too.
You're bringing
And
in
you
bad
let him
energy.
have because you
You're
all know
bringing in bad energy.
make people run away.
It has more to do
You're
with just
bringing in
religion,
bad
though.
energy.
Religion plays a
Run
part,
the fuck away. The
but
fuck
it's
you
more
mean?
to it than just religion. I agree with Abraham saying that it's more to it than just religion. Religion definitely plays a heavy role, but it is more to it than just religion.
It's not on the resources from the land to take the inheritances and make themselves kings of those lands. It's not anything more than religion. Religion separates the state from the church. It's only church or state. It's us versus the religious people versus us. That's all it is to it. And there's the war right now that all those who are claiming to be some religious figure or into a religion is a part of the divide and the war.
Sister, respectfully, can you please stop? I can't handle this rhetoric anymore. Please, just please.
Well, you're going to have to find you somewhere to go because I'm not stopping. I want the fucking war to stop. The confrontation over religion.
But chosen though, you practice a religion, don't you?
No. I'm saying this and you saying I practice.
Well, I've heard you talk about me and your situation with your nephew and niece, but you don't have to yell.
That's the religion. The war is about religion. You lost Muslims. It's a political thing. Jews and Muslims. No, it's a political thing. It's not about the Muslims or the Christian. That's a decoy. Ain't no decoy. Because don't know oil. Ain't no damn Anunnaki looking for no fucking oil. They know ain't got nothing to do with religion though. All that bullshit. It's religion. Nothing to do with religion. It's my God
Jesus, come help us. The Lord. God Almighty, we need help. So why if I were Jesus, I would we're lost.
And then as far as the kind of filial thing earlier, y'all was talking about, I couldn't get a word in, so I wasn't able to say it. So it might feel like I'm backtracking. But those of religion, every religion has a pedophile in it. That should be real.
Yeah, but we talking about Muslims.
But my dad is a Muslim, and he's not a pedophile.
He might be one too,
but he's not. So every person, just like everybody, your aunties or uncles or whatever, they're Christians, that don't make them a pedophile. A pedophile is a pedophile despite what religion they're attached to.
Most people don't even know the definition of a
you don't see Muslims blasted all on TV screen.
A pedophile is one who is
19-year-old girls. I know we ain't gonna act like we don't see that shit. And yes, right, we also have to remember that like religion.
Pedophilia is all
religions.
Those are white people with the largest country that comes from white people traveling to Thailand and traveling to Brazil so they can have 15 and 16-year-old prostitutes visiting Epstein Islands. And all those people that went all Christian
you see them eating men
you don't like that, do you, Scholar? Because you're
you see those nice men on Epstein files, videos and shit. Let's not do that.
The mother of Jesus Christ was a god. She was underage.
Nobody has any proof of how old Mary was, so y'all can
There is a lot of proof.
Because we have no
you don't even have proof. Testament was actually written by the actual people that lived with Jesus. Those are unknown authors.
I think.
And you can be a virgin and be of age, so let's not do that.
Okay. I think everyone's getting a bit too heated. Let's just stop trying to prove points and start trying to exchange information.
Here we go. I ain't got no information exchange. You get it or you don't. Jesus, okay? If you don't get it spiritually, you ain't gonna get it.
Okay, because I got a lot of information about the history of the United States of America and about the current political standing and about what the National Endowment for Democracy, the NED, does, as well as the CIA, and about various plots to overthrow.
I want to hear this. I need to hear this.
Please, brothers, speak. Please,
enlighten us.
educate these people.
Because that sounded
Muslim brothers. Go ahead. Tell them the truth.
Okay, as you say that, can you actually, as you're doing your information, I was wondering if you can actually bring up at the same time DC and the government of the United States, and then how it has connection with London City and the Vatican, and how it's all as a powerhouse of ruling the world. Those three things mean something. Like I said again, DC,
I got a picture
London,
of what you're talking about.
Yeah, London City, and then the Vatican.
They rule America. You got it twisted, buddy. You got it twisted. They invaded this country for over 300 years, trying to get in this bitch until we had to just surrender. Okay?
You don't want to be say, you know what I'm saying? Like, let her be, bro.
She said, yeah, what she's saying is it's true that America was, you know what I'm saying, by foreign lights. Yes, and definitely, you know what I'm saying, like, it was not just, it wasn't just like Europe, you know what I'm saying, European continents, when once was talking about, having these lands, I mean, they were coming from the east to the west. This was, America, when you break it down, it's the land of many waters, not the United States of America. The United States of America is a corporation and within itself. So it has its own agenda of, how it moves. And that's why I was bringing those three cities up to let you know when, you say America goes to war to, to these places, it's actually that they just can't go to war with anybody. They have to go ask, and go through these certain levels.
Y'all see that?
They have to go through these certain levels. So they have to act, they have to go to the Pope or whatever, the Roman Catholic Church, before they're able to invade into one place. Because if you look at the resources and how much the Vatican owns of the planet.
Yeah, I can see it.
They own a lot of real estate. The Vatican owns a lot of real estate.
Did y'all see what I posted?
Okay, sure, but that's not where the story begins.
Power scheme pyramid.
It starts at the top of the Vatican.
Well, that's not where the story begins in history.
What you showing us, that you saying like the Tower of Babel?
I'm talking about the founding of this nation, when a whole bunch of radicals kind of decided that they wanted to abandon negotiations with the mother country, and that they wanted to torture a whole bunch of dissidents into agreeing with their side of things. And then they sort of hijacked a political scheme in order to found a new nation without the regards of most of the people involved, and without regards of most of the people that would be affected by the enterprise, and without any approval from the mother country. And then they started a whole war campaign. And part of the reason for this was actually when certain Virginians, like George Washington in particular, one of the reasons why he actually participated in the war campaign and supported it as such was because he actually had ambitions to annex a whole bunch of land and territories that he believed belonged to him and other veterans of the French Indian.
Blah, 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 blah.
Well, I'm just saying this nation has advocated for genocide since its very beginning and since its very founding.
White people have advocated for genocide.
That's some strong information, man.
But listen, when you talk about
they've been advocating for genocide from the moment they existed. Like, wow.
And
I agree with that. That explains the many invasions.
You agree with the genocide?
No, listen.
No, I agree with it.
That's why they call it
This
the devil.
is factual information.
Oh,
Many people don't know about
it.
But where did he come from? Where did
Because
George Washington come from, and who was he related to?
From religion.
This is what you're not understanding. The understanding is what is his bloodline? Because I heard that
His
he did
bloodline don't matter in
from-
America.
No,
It's just the color of your skin that matters, not your bloodline.
George Washington did not like any dark skinned people.
Exactly, and that's still happening to
It
this
was
day.
not for the people of this land at all. He was all about, going out and doing that cowboy Indian shit. So what I'm
That's
saying,
exactly what that brother was saying.
I'm
That
saying
they were
The
doing
people
genocide.
of this land
Was
is
obviously
all
exterminating
the
the
philosophy
indigenous people of this land, America.
what I'm saying, where is his lineage from? His lineage is from Europe. His lineage is from Europe. Okay. And so, and then,
Bro, all white
it's a certain
Americans
listen, it's a certain
Europe,
bloodline.
the islands, Britain,
It's a certain
Germany, Poland,
bloodline.
Italy, Spain, Portugal.
It's
All white lineage goes back there.
And it's a certain bloodline that works off that. It's a king that they're.
But when we're talking about America, it's not about your bloodline, it's about your skin color, depopulation. That's what it's about right now. Back then, but now it's about depopulation and your skin color. Kill everybody.
They kill. No. Stop excluding like white people don't get it too in this country, okay?
I'm not saying that they don't, but I'm saying we are the targets.
Because we the most valuable thing. We are the most valuable
You're
people on the planet.
being protected. You're being protected. That money is protecting you over here. You're being protected. Your government is protecting you. A lot of things you can't have privy to know because you would jump outside your motherfucking skin if you actually knew the extent they went to protect us here over in this country. What that
looks like that protection looks like invading. They have to go to war to protect our freedom. Or else we'll all be walking around in hijabs, forced to have a picture of Kunjuan in our face. We don't have to do that here in America. We can sing what we want to sing. We've got talent. We got innovation. We are trendsetters. And the religious population rulers of the world want to control.
Yeah, that's why the West is trying to make women into wars by promoting makeup and tight clothes and short skirts and things like that. So men will objectify you like objects. Fuck you, turn you into something, leave you as it is. The West is better than because the family household in the Middle East, in Africa, is stronger than in America. Why is that? Why don't they divorce it so much? Why do they get so many children? There's a reason for this all. So keep living according to standards, your white standards. Forget about your roots. I think your ancestors will be happy with that.
I don't please no damn ancestors. I'm here in real time, not no dead people. So please stop.
You don't need to please your ancestors, but there's no fault in remembering where you come from and embracing them. Why people embrace them?
Not the past. That's why we stuck now. Keep talking about the past and shit. What you gonna do about the future?
So the future ain't really looking good for Africa and the Middle East because it's being bombed and invaded, and the main causes and reasons is America.
No, put that shit where it belongs. The main cause is Biden, Trump, and Obama.
And who are which country are they leaders of, or were they leaders of?
Military. What kind of shit is that?
Come on, man.
Hold on. Now, this is why I keep on going back to this bloodline thing. The reason why I keep going back to this bloodline thing is because didn't some little girl, 13-year-old girl, American girl, said that a lot of the presidents that we had before that, you know what I'm saying, they all related by blood, by a European king, from a European king, that the people were so depressed and suppressed and, you know what I'm saying, not giving care of, that they celebrated for years when the king died.
I never heard that personally.
You never heard of like
I think no, that's not even really
the genealogy of all the presidents that we have.
And why I'm saying that is because we're speaking, for example, on the last 500 years or so, we know that most conflict, corruption, and problems have come from the Europeans. They created it. They became the most superior, the most wealthy, the most powerful. They still are. Then when we look at the last 100 years, or I would say 100 to 200 years, it's America, right? It's America. That what have they caused and what we've seen in the world as problems and diseases and issues, name it. This is all America. So it's not really about whose bloodline were these prophets, talking about the Bible so much, whose bloodline these presidents and stuff were. It's really about what's happening right now and what's happening and seeing for the future to come. There's no goodness coming.
Respectfully, I want to hear what the brother has to say, because I think that sometimes we kind of get a little bit. I think sometimes we kind of forget. Bloodlines were pretty important. Even all the way back in the days with the founding of Islam. It was a very tribal culture back then. I think these tribes. The modern culture, these modern empires like the United States, they thrive off of trying to get us to forget our tribal roots. That was part of what the whole slave game was about, trying to get us to forget our tribal roots, where we came from, trying to disrupt us from our communities and separate us from our families and all that type of stuff. They thrive off of having us forget our roots and where we come from and forget our, forget the truth of our language and everything like that, so that we can't even communicate with each other. They thrive off of that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but you know that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was against tribalism, because the Arabs were the most arrogant when it came to tribalism. An Arab would say to the other Arab, well, my father is so-and-so, and I'm from such and such tribe, so I'm better than you. And the Prophet said, curse be a man like this. So in Islam, we don't do nationalism or tribalism. We stand up for justice, even if it's against ourselves. Allah says that in the Quran. Stand up for justice, even if it's against your own people.
Respect.
You still doing it because there's a difference between Sunni and Shiites. Shiites believe they come from that bloodline.
Hold on, respectfully. Now, I'm not talking about no Shiite nonsense. I'm not talking about
Shiite have nothing to do with it.
Hold on, pause. Let's not bring that into the conversation. Let's not even bring that into the conversation. What Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, what he preached against was tribal hierarchies. Talking about some tribal, a tribe is better than this one. We're gonna wage war against this tribe.
Yeah, tribalism. Yes.
But bloodlines were still important back then. It's the familial structure. That's what the tribe was a familial structure.
Yeah, bro. The bloodline really don't matter, because the first caliph was not related to the prophet by blood. So wasn't the second. So wasn't the third. The fourth was. He got assassinated. So really that doesn't play a key with us regarding the bloodline. Yes, obviously when it comes to affirming one's bloodline for an important thing, like we have to know who this man is in sense of knowledge regarding the man's background, but not in the sense of rulership or governing or power.
But these different tribes, though, that existed all the way back then, I think that some of them that were trying to rule the nation, they tried, they kept in touch. They still tried to maintain authorities and structures and things like that. So those old tribes, they still exist nowadays. Those old families still exist nowadays, because otherwise where would we come from? So, I mean, if these families are trying to maintain these structures of power and trying to maintain these structures of resources that they've inherited and that they've conquered and that they've acquired, you know what I'm saying? This is something to where it makes sense. So, respectfully, I just want to hear what the brother has to say.
I mean, I just want to bring awareness to families like that. And that's where, ones try to claim about where Jesus came from or where Abraham came from. It's just, they're going down this holy bloodline of people that's saying, hey, or ones will say, I am, the ones that's closest to God, and I'm doing God's work. And this is what righteousness is, because I'm doing what God told me to do. That's written. And so I know that man is imperfect. So there is evil, evil ones out there that will change or try to trick us into doing vile things and saying that, oh, it's okay because God said it was okay, or said this person, said it was okay. And what I'm feeling is with my sister, when she's talking about this, she's just like, hey, these things are not okay, because you look at the world today, because we're going off a lot of ancient, ancient times, and where it was in those ancient times, people didn't survive that long. So it wasn't uncommon for, these arranged marriages for you to be 14 or 15, a 14-year-old with a 15-year-old, and that marriage was arranged, where maybe it might be for a political aspect, because we've been talking about a lot about King Solomon and Queen Sheba, and maybe it was a war from the north and the south, and so for them to stop that conflict amongst each other, they had they had to have that marriage, that bond, because that's how ones in ancient times did contracts. It's of one blood, to keep it where it was there's no separation.
Like the black book.
That's how they kept peace too.
So
the black bullet. Oh.
No, when you talk about the boule, you already know that's Greek. you know, you're
The
speaking
black
on.
bully. I said the black bully.
Yeah, you're still talking about the you know what I'm saying, you're still talking about Greece. And
They only came to the black boule because the elite still wouldn't let them have privileges and so forth. So they formulated their own kind of like organization of elites to represent them, so forth. At least that's what I heard. I'm not exactly true 100% on that, but that's what I heard. That's what
I'm gonna say this real quick. So
Greece too.
the reason I think that most Americans are afraid for another government or whatever to take power is because over here we have the freedom to practice whatever religion we like to practice. And if someone of a different view mindset comes over here, they're going to take those rights away, and nobody can tell me anything different.
I would also say one of the reasons, right, why America has this issue, it does actually have somewhat to do with what happened in the past. Because something happened in the past which shocked Europe. And that was the rise of Islam. When Islam rose, it took over the Persian and the Roman Empire.
And Greece and Spain and Portugal.
And Egypt and India and Morocco and many others. It went all the way to the walls of China. From the walls of Rome to the walls of Ethiopia to the rivers of India to the very rivers of the south of France. So because Islam spread so rapidly,
1,000 years,
the Europeans have a very big fear that this might or could happen again. So since that time, they've been keeping the Muslims, women, children, men, innocent people, have nothing to do with what's happening today, of course, but they're being oppressed. So that is something that you would see. And there's a reason why America is the most hated country in the world after Israel. It's because they invade so many countries.
No, that's not why.
Kill so many people. That's why so many countries hate them. So yeah, my fear of invasion, a fear of because
they
when
hate
you
America.
kick a dog,
It's like
the dog might not bite you. When you kick him the second time, the dog might just bark. But the third time, the dog might bite. And that's what America's been doing. It's a kid on the street,
you know about. Okay, you can't speak on America like that.
yeah.
That's not why.
Everybody wants to come to America, but yet they hate it.
They're not religious, and they don't make you conform to the religion like everybody else does. And then looking at why these hoes don't have to cover up. These bitches get to rock around ass naked,
Yeah.
blood out, and feel good about it. I want to be like them.
Yeah.
And now they hate with their want to be free. That's why they hate us, because we're showing the world.
The Western world,
that your women can be free.
For issues
Yeah.
regarding body dysmorphia, self insecurity. Like I said, because of makeup and women in the Middle East and African countries where they cover themselves, they don't have these psychological issues.
So
they don't have. You think that because they covered, but they like the most women. You know what I'm saying?
Annoying,
no.
right?
But you believe everything you
and you need to stop.
Live in your house.
You believe everything that you hear on TV. You don't even live in America trying to tell Americans about America.
Yeah.
The freedom. I've dated several foreigners. Their issue and gripe is being Americanized, not black, not white, but that you are Americanized, meaning you have freedom to be flamboyant, to be naked, to be your damn self. Men and those are the countries hate us because they're women
to be naked
want to be free. Hello.
Is that what you said? American?
Hey. I'm gonna be done in a second. Their men are upset because their women want to be free. Like daddies. Ooh, ow. I'm done.
May I say something? All right, so respectfully, and whether you like it or not, I mean, this is just historical fact. The separation of church and state was implemented very early on in the, at the founding of this nation. It was championed by founders such as Thomas Jefferson and his crew. Now, separation of church and state essentially reads as such, or it doesn't read as such. I'm not going to quote it, but essentially what it establishes is that the government cannot adopt a religion, and it cannot support one religion over the other, and it cannot discriminate against one religion, aside from the others. So that's what the separation of church and state is. Now, the reason why it was advocated for, now you can check this out, it was a political plot move done by Methodists and done by Baptists. Now, that aside, now the feminist movement that you're talking about giving all this freedom to women, that all that stuff got championed like over a century later. And that's just historical factual information. The church still had so much lock, key, and power over the United States. They didn't let foreigners in to the extent to where like other religions could be practiced necessarily. So it was still a purely, very indoctrinated Christian, nation. But for centuries, just because like the immigration laws and the racism laws and all that type of stuff. So it was done that way. Now there was some freedom of religion. You can look at like the Moorish Science Temple of America. You can look at rise of the black populations trying to experiment in different things. But by and large, it was a very indoctrinated Christian society that was trying to enforce that through immigration laws and things as such. Now, when it comes to the feminist movement, that came over a century after the separation of church and state. So I'm not seeing why you're trying to link the two.
I'm not linking. No, I didn't mention nothing about the feminist movement, did I? I didn't mention nothing about the feminist movement. I said that the divide is because the men in other countries that use religious texts to systematically oppress the women and the children are mad because the women over here want to be Americanized. They want to be like the American woman. And the men are upset about it. So it's going to keep perpetuating this religious war, one dominant over the other. That's why they hate America. That's why they hate Americans, because we have freedom to practice Christianity, freedom to practice Islam, freedom to practice Jehovah, to be a Jehovah's Witness, to be an atheist. You have that freedom. Other nations have to have the president or leader of their country up in their home. If you don't have a picture of Kim Jong-un, you're going to get arrested. You got to pay jail time. So that system is what the rest of the world hates, that we do not have to abide by one systematic religious rule. God is one, meaning we can all separate it and make it our own.
So what I heard him say, what I took from him was saying that we only have our rights as women after the feminism movement. But before, women were still subjugated to the religion, which was, he said, was predominantly Christianity at the time.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, the Christian church still had so much of a control over the society in early American history that the feminists, or the women involved, they didn't really have too many more rights than other women. I think actually the women in Islamic societies might have had some more rights than the women in early American societies when you look at it. But then the feminist movement kind of changed all that, but in different waves, and that came over a century later.
I would say the civil rights movement did. They fought for civil rights of all humans to be humane. Civil rights, to have civil rights.
But that's what the Prophet Muhammad did. He was fighting for the human rights as well, because there was injustice in many places.
Never heard that.
Yeah, we have his history.
He killed over 300 people.
His lifestyle.
women in Islamic societies, were guaranteed inheritance rights. I don't think that was actually necessarily true with early American history. Actually, it is in fact not true because they weren't allowed to own property at all. They weren't allowed inheritance rights.
There's no one Islam nation, sir.
Look,
There's no one nation
Prophet
that's
Muhammad
Islam. So,
So a woman cheats, she gets stoned.
you know what I'm saying?
well, there's one. Is there a Muslim nation? Is there one nation that's all?
By the way, the first 2 universities that were ever built were built by 2 Muslim women in Africa. 2 Muslim women. Well, you couldn't even go to school as a woman. In America, you couldn't go to school as a woman because it was forbidden. Because if you were smart, they would think you're a witch. And they would throw you in the water, and they said some weird stuff that if you drown, then you are a witch, and if you float, then God saved you. But very, very wicked ways. Women couldn't even study back then. Because what does the Bible say? That women are not allowed to teach. So if that country is adhering to the Bible, then that would be an issue. In Islam, women are allowed to teach.
You can't drive.
There's no prohibition for women to teach in Islam, but there is within Christianity and Judaism.
In my history that I learned with the perpetuation of the Bible and things like that, when just going back to like the earliest times of when they was talking about Christopher Columbus, you know, coming here, I believe that he had some kind of, it was something that I don't know, like truly, but it was something that if they go to a foreign land, you already know they was looking for some trade route instead of going through like the Middle East or going through the Mediterranean seas and stuff like that. But anyways, I guess that he hit the, you know, West, they call it West Indies. But what he was doing at the same time, he would use the book of God because these people are savage, that they don't have a culture, they don't have so I'm like, again, this there was a lot of foreign influence for this genocide that you're speaking of, but I'm just looking at where it came from. You know, for once, to just make claim over, you know, another human being to, you know, or over someone else's lands. So when you talk about the United States themselves,